Good morning. Going to take just a minute or two to get going if you're already watching this. If you're watching, please, if you're watching it live, comment in the comments or in the conversation where you're watching from. And if you're watching a replay, tell us on the comments of the video where you're watching from. I'd like to hear where people are from. I'm sitting here watching my bear with me as oh, there we go. Yeah, we're going now. Okay. In case you were wondering, yes, this is my first live stream. My first. And I thought it'd be interesting to take you along. You know, gardeners talk about that morning walk through the garden and getting going and you know, just kind of staying in touch with the garden each day. And I'll be honest, I don't do it every day. I really don't think I have the bandwidth to do it every day, but when I do, it makes for a good start. And I don't check everything. I kind of take a general look at things. But in this video, I wanted to discuss a few things that I've been thinking about the direction of this channel. I've had people ask what's my goal with this channel and where I'm hoping to go, and I want to just discuss a few things. And yes, we are starting, and I just realized I have some settings that so bear with me just a moment as there we go. Okay, so hey, it worked. Only reason I can do this, so yeah, only reason I can do this is because I got my new phone. I have 5G. I've never had 5G before. My last phone was barely 4G, and we'll have to see how this works. But anyway, I haven't looked in the garden yet this morning. I did go out and step out and place. Here you can see, the tripod is sitting out there, and it is waiting for us in case I come up with some need for it. I don't know that I will. But anyway, just wanted to go out with you first thing in the garden. I know there's a few things that I've been watching that are kind of exciting. Yeah. And so I'm going to head out here and kind of take the first look with you as we look at a couple of things. And this is normally my first view coming out. The cucumbers and the ginger over there. And I love this. Oh, it blows me away. And it always draws me right to right to the cucumbers that are growing. Like I see one right there. And it's got a few bugs in it, but that's okay. We always cut those out. I know there's another one up in there as well. There's a few growing. But I have a little bit of insect pressure here, but not a lot. I have a very diverse garden. I've got ginger next to, there's zinnias up under here, and then there's, I'm sorry, cucumbers with zinnias up under here, and ginger and turmeric all around here, and so it's very diverse. I've even got the blackberries are still crawling across the top, but that diversity, it attracts different kinds of pests, different kinds of predators, and they do good. In fact, oh lordy day, I'm going to see if I can come over and catch this brand new lizard. We have a whole, oh, he disappeared. We have a whole new, that focus is, that zoom is tricky. But we have a whole new stream of baby lizards arriving in the garden, and so it's amazing. But yeah, so this is my first look at the garden, and I'm always looking out for, especially like these double zinnias down here. I'm waiting for them to die because I'll take it, break it up, and spread it around the garden. I'm loving the double zinnias. And Jim actually asked about, is the are the regular zinnias or the better for pollinators than the double zinnias? And I don't know. I still have not observed. But yeah, this is my first live, so bear with us. I really don't expect anyone to show up, being the first, and it's at 7 a.m. in the morning Central Time. And so if we don't get anybody in here, it's fine. I'm doing what I enjoy doing, and this is a good time for me to shoot a little video and show. Oh my goodness, this okra! I am so excited about this okra. But you know, as far as the first point on about why I'm having this channel, why I'm making this channel, one of the first things that I've always done is in my life is try to be as accurate as I can. I believe in being impeccable in your words. In other words, when you say something, it's exactly what you mean, and that's tricky to always be that way. And there's so much that we just say without even thinking, and so it really bugged me when I see people coming out and making claims in the garden and that I don't quite agree with, and so it's one of the reasons why I made my web development business, because one day I read an article about someone charging $70,000 just to register a domain for someone, a simple registration. And the article that came out in the, looky there's an okra. Oh, Mrs. Bowtie, well, if we can get a few of these, we might have fried okra tonight, but I'm gonna stick that in my pocket. There's a few of them up in there, I know. But anyway, it really bugged me that someone charged $70,000 for, literally, at that time, domain registrations were $70. It was only Network Solutions. And you know, I like to be honest. And when people are dishonest like that and just ripping people off, it just makes my blood boil, I guess is the best way to say it. So I started a web development company and did it myself. If I'm going to complain about it, I'm the type of person that'll just do it myself. But yeah, the okra have just started to grow. I'm so excited about that. But you know, I don't like titles that are like clickbait, you know, extreme statements, exaggerations that make people click on it. Because, you know, I just think it's dishonest and it's deceiving, and I don't know, it's not one of the things that I feel comfortable doing. And so on this channel, I try to be as accurate as I can. In fact, if you've watched any of my videos, you'll know I'm showing the successes and the failures. In fact, if I turn around right here, let me turn over here to the other camera. This pomegranate tree, I've managed to kill a lot of plants, especially trees in this yard. And it's discouraging sometimes, but I think it's important for other gardeners, especially new gardeners, to see, hey, even though I've got a YouTube channel, I like to think that I'm doing okay. Some days I'm not, and it doesn't matter, because, you know, God made this tree right here, this pomegranate tree used to have a whole bunch. In fact, it used to look a lot like, can you see down under there? There's a tree with a whole bunch of stems right there. And this thing used to be just like that, and even used to have a lemon tree. I killed all my lemon trees. Well, I almost killed all my lemon trees. I'm not sure. Still struggling from the lemon tree wipeout a year and a half ago. But I like to show the successes and failures, because I really think that this channel is all about encouraging even the most beginning people to get out and grow something, even if it's a single pot, a single plant. Get out and grow something, try it. And I know we started out on, I wish I could show pictures on here. I don't know how to do that yet, because this is my very first live stream. But One of these days I will know how to do that. But we started on a 14-foot patio, north facing no less. So really, I mean, there's very few excuses as to why not get started growing something. My first plant 5 years ago was a tomato plant that was gifted to me. One of those Bonnie plants from the hardware store. So I do like to be accurate in everything I say in this channel. This right down here, you'll notice how this half of this underdeveloped watermelon, in fact it split in the rain we had a couple days ago. But I fed that to one of my turtles. And we're gonna have some videos with both my turtles coming out here soon. Probably a short. I'll do a little compilation, I think, of my turtles. Very excited about the 2 turtles we have. They're pretty big. And Nick walk around and, you know, I hear that turtles eat slugs. How cool is that? A slug predator in my garden. So yeah, this is all brassicas that are, I'm just leaving. They're kind of acting as a cover crop. And that's actually working. I have to go in and pull out something occasionally, but there's blackberries growing all over. In fact, these blackberries, you'll notice the stems are all brown. These are last year's stems. And I've got to get in here and clean out some of those. This is one of my ivies that we're trying to battle. I think, is this that creeping cucumber, or whatever it is? I can't remember. I can't tell right off without seeing one. But anyway, this is just typical stuff that I look at when I'm coming out in my garden in the morning. And you know, these walks don't normally take but a few minutes. I'll walk out the front or the back, and I'll walk around the edge, and kind of like what we're about to do. But you know, one of the things about the content I want to do on this channel is I really want it to be incremental. In other words, you could scan back through the months and you can see how things have developed. How, you know, from last month to this month, how it's gone. And, you know, we do the monthly garden tours. I break it up into 3 parts. And those 3 parts, they, each month, they're in the exact same order, or very close to the same order. And I can go back and see, okay, where was this area last year at this time, or last month at this time, for that matter, last year or year before at this time. And this here is these cucumbers on this side. You know, we looked at that side over there. This cucumbers on this side, they're a little behind the other side for some reason. But look at there. There's one that's almost ready. Actually, that's ready to be picked right now. And the reason is because I don't think it has any. Oh, it has 1 bite in it. I'll go weigh that. Oh, no, there's another bite. No, there's not. Looking at that cucumber, looks like it's just the 1 bite, maybe 2 bites. We cut those out. Hey, this is a home garden, and I accept all the diversity that we get because it helps. It's an overall help to everything. I do have some Egyptian walking onions buried down there, which is kind of cool. Those are surviving. Here's a zinnia. I'm going to pull this out so I can keep a better eye on it. And once that thing completely dies, I will spread its seeds out. Maybe collect those seeds. I haven't collected any seeds this year, so I might pick that bloom and stick it inside somewhere where it can dry. But yeah, so I really like things being incremental, so I can see exactly where I was and compare. Now, like this wall of beans right here, it is looking amazing, and I am waiting to see my very first bean. I do know I've been seeing some blooms up in here. Oh, look at there. You see there? Those are about to bloom. We'll be getting beans real soon on this trellis. I do have another surprise for you where I want to end this live, but we're about to start having beans, and we love the coverage here. It really makes for a different environment in the couch, the patio couch over there. It's just changing of views. So frequently I talk about I'm a little bit obsessive compulsive, and yeah, I am. I know that, And it's just, I consider it one of my strengths, and I will work with that. And so that's part of the result of getting this every incremental thing in the videos that I make. I just think it's very, very important to do that on something like this. And of course, I always stay garden focused. You know, it's kind of a vlog style. This is one of the Luffas. I actually came out and cut several Luffas. In fact, this one here is not even the biggest. There was one bigger than this. I walked by it. I hadn't cut these in a few days, and there was two bigger than this. But I mean, that's huge. It's enormous. I hadn't come out here and cut the little ones in a few days, and I came out and I was walking by here on yesterday's walk and saw these massive Luffas hanging along this back edge here, and it blew me away. I actually audibly went, ah! And stopped to pick. But anyway, so yeah, I like to stay garden focused. This is more about the content. Here's a Luffa that didn't get pollinated, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that off if I can. Ooh, these stems are really, wow, they are really tough on these Luffa. I can't pull that off. I need to snip it. You can probably hear the rain starting. But one of the things we've been doing is with these Luffa, we've been picking them about that size. Maybe 6 hours from now I'll pick that, and it'll be a right size to slice up. In fact, last night dinner was a whole bunch of Luffa sliced up and grilled in the skillet, cast iron skillet, like you would a zucchini. And yeah, it was tasty. But when they're, so yeah, the Luffa, it's the Luffa. It's a shower sponge. But if you get them young, they're just like zucchini. I heard someone say that, and when I saw that, I had already started growing these, but I didn't have any at the time. Oh, here's another one over here. The reason why there aren't very many right now is because I literally just picked 7 pounds off this thing, off this arbor yesterday. There's 5 plants. There's 1 plant in each corner, and I think one of these, I think this corner has actually 2 plants in it. 2 plants, 2 vines growing out of it. But 7 pounds of Luffa out of this. Mind-blowing. Just amazing. So if you're growing Luffa, I'd love to hear about it, because this is a first year. In fact, I heard someone else saying they're growing Luffa for the first time. I was like, oh, I had to comment that I'm growing it for the first time too. But yeah, so garden focused, and really, you know, this is this channel is more of a vlog style. A day in the life of, I don't know if it's so much that, it's certainly the progress in the life of the garden. And for me, if you watch, you know I'm a Christian. I believe that God created the earth. Jesus came to earth to save us after we messed up the earth, the Garden of Eden, and were cast out of the garden. That Jesus came to save us and give us a better life, hopefully a life even more like in the garden. And you know, people, it's funny, people say, well, I don't want to live in a garden. Well, if you look at the end of the Bible, it's not really just a garden. There is garden, but there's also a city. There's something for everyone. And I believe God has a place in store for us that we will all be so happy to be in. In fact, my illustration for a class about it coming up, I'm trying to figure out how to work in, you know, this world that we're in is the Disneyland of our true existence. This is nothing, you know, there's no fake, there's this whole world is a facade. And I'm rambling here, so bear with me for just a moment. But you know, you go to Disney World, and I had a chance to do the half marathon. You run behind the scenes, and boy, it's really just a facade. But when we get to heaven, it's not going to be a facade. It's the real thing. So yeah, that's my Everglades tomato that we just looked at. I just harvested those yesterday too. I can see we already have some more. In fact, let me go back over here. We have more coming out. In fact, this was a volunteer that was over there by the house in one of the earlier garden tours. And I decided to move it out here and start tying it up again down here. These Everglades tomatoes are prolific. In fact, Mrs. Bowtie and I are eating on them right now. Watermelon, there are a lot of watermelon in here. In fact, you can see there's one right here. Check that out. And there's another one right over here. I'm trying not to move the camera too fast so it doesn't make anyone sick. I'm the worst about when someone swings the camera around and getting that sick feeling. There's another one right there. So I try to keep it. Good morning, Mrs. Bowtie. Good to see you. We are, yeah, so the watermelon are beautiful. In fact, I wanted to come back over here because the big one, in fact, Mrs. Bowtie, this is the big one back over here that we'll be eating first, I think. It is a monster. I am waiting right now. If you look down here, you can see there's a tendril right here, and it's already started to get either eaten off or die off. As soon as that tendril starts turning brown down to the base, ooh, it already sounds good. That melon will be ready to eat. That's the first one we're getting. So, very excited about that. Another watermelon. We have, if you saw that short recently, we counted watermelons. I think we counted 13. There's more now. It's no longer 13. I think it's like 16 now. And they're buried. They're all buried in here. I can see there's, oh, that little one right there is turning, oh, there's another two right there next to him. That little one right there is turned yellow and is not grown at all, which tells me it probably split in one of our rains. So I'll take that, break it open, put it out for the turtles. Turtles apparently love watermelon. But the pepper patch, yes, I'm harvesting peppers. I'm so excited. In fact, Lindsay, you were telling me last night you've got a huge Tabasco plant. Mine, this is mine. It's not very big. It's what, 2 feet tall, but it is beginning to take off, and it already has Tabasco peppers on it. And I'll be looking to pick those here pretty soon. So anyway, so that first point, of course, was being accurate in content. The second point was what kind of content we have, and incremental and garden focused. Sometimes it's my life is in the garden, and so I see, in fact, we have a series that I'm still working on, is God in the Garden. And so I think that's very important. But, you know, the third point, the last thing I wanted to say on this is that I really want to encourage everyone to at least grow something. Now, you look at this area here, man, it's a mess. It's an overgrown mess, and there's a lot of weeds flowering in here, which is fine. There's actually weed fabric under here. I can clean all this out and get right down to the weed fabric and start over pretty easily. All the blueberries, of course, that we're heading to a final place here, where I'm going to end this video in just a few minutes. But yeah, I want to show you the meadow over here because there's a great surprise that I'm excited about. So yeah, Mrs. Bowtie is at work now, and that let me know that she arrived safely. Thank you, dear. So this is what I'm calling the meadow area, and it is very diverse. We have a whole new wave of Biden's alba coming up over here. Little flowers that are going to be popping up all over. There's a big comfrey here that I'm hoping will flower again. There's another comfrey over here, and the reason why we want lots of flowers up in here is, look what we got yesterday. We got our new bee box, and I'm so excited. We moved it down, I don't know, what's about 8-10 feet. I think our last location, which was right here, it was a little close to the neighbor's area where he likes to do his grill, and I know he got stung a couple times, and I feel terrible about that, Kevin. But anyway, so new bee box. We're kind of waiting to see if they take. They're supposed to be getting morning sun here, but we are overcast right now. We just had some tremendous rains. In fact, Jeff Chesser, he's my bee guy with Local Destined Honey. He has a channel on YouTube, but he commented about these these elephant ears might be a problem, and I told them these are temporary. You can cut these things back. The amazing thing about elephant ears, you cut them all back, they'll just grow. They have a big, huge root down there that keep growing back. But yeah, we have all kind of Biden's alba, which is the little yellow, I'm sorry, white flower with a yellow center. We have other stuff. I see some ragweed growing back in there. I'm trying to keep the ragweed a little more under control. There's another comfrey. I don't know if you can see right there. There's another comfrey back there. And of course, the figs, our 2 fig trees here are starting to come out. And we've got all these flowers right at their doorstep with the cantaloupe. And I just noticed yesterday, for the very, very, very first time, we have a cantaloupe. Can you see that? Can you see that? Oh my goodness, I'm excited. Can't remember what kind it is. I have to look it up. I have a video on that. That's how I log things, is this channel. But anyway, so yeah, I really hope I can encourage people to grow something, even if it's a house plant. I just think it's so fulfilling to be able to nourish something and grow something so that we can create more life on this planet, the green life, like this grape arbor that's in sore need of a little bit of trimming. I don't want to trim it too much because we actually have grapes in here. Very excited about that. In fact, let me see if I can get in here and show you some. And there's one more thing after this I want to show you. And then we'll call this quits. But yeah, look at, can you see the grapes right there? How cool is that? We got little bunches of grapes. Now this is its 2nd year to produce. Last year was kind of bad, but I mean, look at this frame right here. There's a bunch there, a bunch there, a bunch there, a bunch here, and a bunch, oh, another bunch back up in there. And here's another. This thing is just thick with grapes. So this is a scuppernong grape. Not a great table grape, but we would like to be able to make jellies and maybe one day wine out of these. We'll have to see. But yeah, I just hope people can feel encouraged about growing something and keeping something alive and know that they can do it. So yeah, there's a channel called Gardenshappen. It's a small channel, friend of mine, at least I consider him a friend. And he had these Thai yard-long beans growing in his garden, and I thought, oh my goodness, we were actually, when I saw it, we were in the throes of canning beans. Let's get around this side. Get rid of that tarp in the background because it's kind of ugly. But anyway, his were thick with these beans, and yeah, these long things. This is a bean. Look at this. It's not quite yard long yet, but it's pretty close. And we picked a couple yesterday. 3 of these will make a meal. Good grief. They're huge, and they're starting to produce, and I mean, there's blooms coming out everywhere. There's one there. There's another one up over here. There's another there. We're about to have a bunch of these things. I see blooms all over the place here. Yeah, if you like growing these, click like on this video or anything in the video. Yeah, it's amazing. So, if you have any questions about anything in this video, I mean, please ask questions. Share your experiences in the comments or in the chat. I'd love to hear what you're doing. A lot of times people make comments that make me think, it's like, oh, that's a great idea. And I love reading those comments and the chats and stuff, because a lot of times it gives me ideas and says, okay, here's something else. Because, you know, frankly, this tarp is here right now because I'm getting ready to build 2 new beds here. You hadn't even seen that in the video tour, the garden tours yet. But I'm hoping to get the next 2 parts of the of these tier gardens, and you'll have to watch the garden tour to see what that's all about. But anyway, I want to have 2 more here. I want to duplicate this in 2 more beds in front of here. So please do subscribe. I intend to do more of these morning walk in the garden. If people like it, let me know if you like it. If you enjoy just the morning chat, or maybe tell me if you know, I love some of, you know, Will over at from Roots and Refuge. He has his own channel. Lord, I can't think of his name. I can't remember. He does these videos with very little talking, but he just does what he's doing each week in the garden or each month. And I love those videos. Just kind of let them play, relax. It's awesome. So yeah, those beans were the last thing I really wanted to show. The pollinator. I need to come in. I just noticed I need to come back in here and trim back some of these spent yarrow blooms. It's time for that. I don't know if I've mentioned, I don't think I mentioned last month, I have 3 milkweed pots here that Jim gave me. Thank you, Jim. I'm getting ready to put those somewhere. One's definitely going in this bed. Probably another one up in that bed. I want to try maybe the other one in the meadow, because I'd like to try to get these things to populate themselves. And things are kind of overflowed. I've been working on 2 big projects and with work and church, and kind of got a little snowed under, falling behind. But we'll be, hopefully next week, I'll be able to spend some time out here cleaning things up, keeping it getting too bad. So thank you for those who have subscribed. You've made Bowtie life what it is today, and I truly appreciate it. And that's just what I do in my morning walk. Of course, it normally doesn't take this long. Recording a video adds time to anything you do. But most of the time, my morning walks, if I have the mental bandwidth. Hey, there's times I don't have the mental bandwidth to do a morning walk. But if there's mental bandwidth in my brain to do one of these morning walks, I come out, and I've done these morning walks in as little as 2 minutes. Just kind of walk out the back, look around, keep an eye on things, see if there's anything that needs desperate attention, make a mental note of anything that does, and carry on with my day. Hey, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Y'all have a blessed day.